Hey everybody, it's Party Elite, and today we're taking a look at the much-awaited Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. With its vast open world and extremely sandbox experience, it's easy to get lost in the options and decisions that need making, and before you know it, your bid for greatness can end with you abandoned by your troops, chained up, dragged around the world, or worse, dead. In the hopes of helping you avoid that fate, I've put together a quick set of 10 essential tips for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. Newcomers to the series might benefit most from this, though hopefully there's something in there for vets as well. Now, if you've got any tips or suggestions or pointers of your own, feel free, as always, to drop them in the comments down below. It's always nice to get a little bit of knowledge sharing going, I think. 20 men minimum. One of the first things you'll want to do is get yourself some troops to fight alongside. There are bandits and looters and all manner of foes out there, and they will chase and cut you down with ease if you're an easy target. So, the first thing to do is to move from among the villages, towns, cities, and castles in your immediate vicinity and recruit soldiers. Soldiers are recruited off the various people in the area, and depending on your relationship with them, you'll have access to better troops. Now, you're not going to be getting all you need from one spot, but over a handful of stops, you should be able to get to 20 men. Now, this seems to be the perfect balance. It's big enough that you can take on some battles and gain valuable experience for yourself and your men, but it's also small enough to keep you moving fast and not just scare away the easy targets. These 20 men can be leveled up to more advanced troop types when they accumulate experience, and after you have a few victories under your belt, you can start pushing beyond that number. But again, 20 means that you're able to catch the smaller targets, they're not always running away from you, and you're actually able to accrue some experience. The need for speed. All moving elements on the map move at different speeds. This speed of movement is affected by a variety of things, including the size of the party, the amount of cavalry in it, how much it's carrying, the number of prisoners it's dragging along, the terrain it's traveling through, and more. To see the details of your own party's speed, click the little arrow at the bottom right corner and hover over the horse icon. This will tell you exactly what's slowing you down. This is important when you want to catch up to a potential target, enemy or friendly. Compare your own speed with that of your target. Hover over another party on the map and you'll see their speed listed under information. It's a good idea to check the speeds of potential targets you're chasing after before you go chasing after them. If they're faster than you, they'll be able to get away on a straight line, but you might still be able to cut them off if you're clever with your maneuvering. If you're faster than them, they're very easily caught up to. This is especially important at the start when you're trying to hunt bandits for easy experience. Make sure you're chasing those that you can actually catch. March on your stomach. As the saying goes, an army marches on its stomach. Make sure you're not running low on supplies and make sure to stock up before going on a long trek. Food is consumed daily, and you can see your current stock and how long it's expected to last by hovering over the grain icon here. I find having a minimum of 5 days worth of food at any given time is a good way to ensure your troops won't start starving if you get dragged off into an unexpected adventure. Food can be purchased at almost any town, village, city, or castle, though prices do vary based on the region you're buying from. A very important factor to consider here that blends into our next point: try and have some variety of food. Eating the same thing day in and day out is boring, but adding a little bit of variety with, say, butter will go a long way in improving morale. Keep spirits up. Low morale can be absolutely devastating. It can lead to desertion and poor performance in battle. High morale, meanwhile, keeps your troops fighting more efficiently, bringing you further glory on the battlefield. Morale is affected by a few things. Your character's skills and traits have an effect, winning and losing battles will change morale, and there are a variety of events and decisions you can make that will also affect morale one way or another. Running out of food is an instant hit to morale, and lacking food variety will hurt morale too, as discussed earlier. You can see details about your party's current morale down here and adjust accordingly. The game will tell you what's making people upset. It's up to you to counteract those things. Eating well and winning battles does the trick 9 out of 10 times. On which topic? Pick your battles. There are some enemy targets that are more easily dealt with than others. Naturally, numbers play a role. A smaller army will have a harder time taking on a larger one, but the type of army matters as well, as you can imagine. Looters are typically terribly armed and easily crushed. In fact, you can even solo them if you want to on horseback with a bow and arrow, just shoot at them and slaughter them. That is a possibility if you're confident in your ability to fire on horseback. And most bandits are easy to deal with, though mountain bandits, if I recall correctly, tend to be a little bit hardier, and steppe bandits tend to be on horseback, which can be a nightmare to deal with early on. If you get close enough to an army, based on your scouting abilities, you can tell what exactly that army is composed of. Learn what you're comfortable with dealing with, and consider what you're equipped for. Will your peasant imperial warriors stand a chance against a mighty cavalry charge? Will your melee-only army stand a chance against a hail of arrows if they have no shields? Now, if you find yourself caught out of position and ambushed or otherwise underestimating the foe, you're able to get a quick read on the balance of power, which is the game basically predicting how well or poorly things will turn out. Now, keep in mind, multiple parties that are within a certain radius around the engagement will be a part of the battle, and you can see them across the top bar, and they're all going to affect that balance of power. Now, you can often get away without fighting. Sometimes brigands will demand payment for safe passage, and if a battle is heavily in your favor, you can just choose to auto-resolve it. Though, there is nothing quite like the option to fight your own battles. The battlefield is a fun challenge of its own in Bannerlord, giving you an opportunity to command the soldiers that you've recruited and partake in combat yourself. Diving deep into every mechanic here is something worth a video or two of its own, but there are a few things to keep in mind. Your troops are divided into their classes, with the number keys giving you a quick way to select individual classes of units: infantry, archers, cavalry, etc. The function keys give you access to orders. Learn these function keys like the back of your hand. Pressing F1 opens the menu up for movement-related orders, using the function keys further to do anything from sending your troops to a position you're pointing at to charging the enemy. F2, followed by another function key, allows you to adjust which way your selected troops are facing. Pressing F3 allows you to use the function keys to select formations for your selected troops, so shield walls for holding the line, circles and squares to defend high-value targets against cavalry, loose to stay safe from archer fire, and many, many more. There's a lot to discuss in this menu alone, and I'll likely be doing that in a separate video if you're interested. Just let me know down below. The tactical play on the battlefield can get pretty intense as the battles get bigger and bigger, setting up flanking maneuvers, shutting down enemy ambushes, cutting down archers, but it's a dense topic for another time. Loot and prisoners. At the end of a victorious battle, you'll obtain loot based on who you were fighting, and you'll also obtain prisoners based on the same. As you can imagine, loot can be used to equip yourself, or it can be sold to gain some easy money. Loot will slow you down, so if you go from battle to battle without stopping at a nearby settlement to trade some of it out, you're eventually going to have a hard time catching your targets. Now, loot will sometimes include more valuable materials and goods, but typically you'll just get a lot of junk in the early game that you can sell off anywhere for a quick buck. Prisoners are a little more interesting. Again, as you can imagine, some prisoners can be of a particularly high value, but that's not likely to happen early in the game. The early prisoners you'll take will be looters and brigands and bandits, and you can either choose to recruit them into your army through the party screen, or you can go to any settlement, visit its tavern, and ransom them off for a quick buck. Now, different prisoners are worth different amounts, of course, so make your decision to recruit or ransom accordingly. You're also able to just leave prisoners behind, just like loot, if that's your preferred style. Trade is a viable approach. Trade is a surprisingly easy way to make money at the start. While we won't get into talk of setting up caravans and trade routes, that's a much deeper topic for a later video perhaps, there is a fair bit of trading you can do at the start of the game to make some easy and quick money without putting your life in more danger than it already typically is. When you go to any settlement and ask to trade, you'll be able to buy and sell your goods. Hovering over items will give you trade rumors about the items if there are any. Now, these rumors, while sometimes horribly inaccurate, will tell you where an item can either be purchased more cheaply or sold at a greater price. You can use this information to help guide you in terms of what to buy and where to go to make a quick buck, fighting looters and bandits along the way, gaining some military experience as well. You can also use this information if you're on a quest that is sending you to a certain destination, taking detours to make quick trade stops. Rumors aside, you can also hover your mouse over various settlements to see what exactly their primary production is, using that knowledge to buy cheap from where something is plentiful, to sell high where it's not. So yes, if you always wanted to be a trucker in the medieval era, you are very much able to do so. Be picky with quests. I cannot stress this one enough. This is an RPG unlike most others. You don't need to, nor should you, simply take on every quest that falls on your lap. Successfully completing a quest will bring great rewards, improving your relations with a specific character and allowing you to recruit higher quality units off of them. And, of course, there's the financial incentive as well. Some quests will net you thousands of dinars for a simple fetching job or a short conversation. Easy money. But some quests will put you at odds with other potential friends, and some quests will come with time limits, long journeys, or dangerous implications. This means that many quests will not align with who you want your character to be from a roleplay perspective, and many quests will prevent you from doing everything you want to do in the long run. So be picky about the quests you take on. Don't be afraid of a challenge, sure, but consider the consequences of, say, siding with one gang over another. Sometimes it's best to not get involved and just make money off both sides, like some medieval arms dealer. Quests are serious business in Bannerlord. Don't take them lightly. Use the encyclopedia. The encyclopedia can be accessed in a few different ways. At any time, hitting N will just open it up, allowing you to search a variety of things, concepts, places, and people. Contextually, anytime a word is highlighted in text, you can click on it to open up that specific encyclopedia page. Whatever your method of getting to it is, use the encyclopedia. Not only is this a massive world with a lot of information to consume, the encyclopedia is also kind of like a journal that keeps a track of important considerations. Are you looking for a specific character for a quest or to hire as a companion? Well, you can find out what the word on the street is about where they were last seen. Not sure where that is? Just click on the name of the city or the settlement, and if you still have no clue, click on the track button. And now you know exactly where you need to go because it's being marked on the map. The encyclopedia also tells you about people's friends and enemies, their temperament, what they do, and if you've ever engaged with them and how. It can keep you appraised of the situation around the world, and it can give you insight about anything from the politics at play to game mechanics. I hope this quick set of 10 tips gives you enough to start your journeys with Bannerlord. It's been a long time coming, and the initial experience can be exhilarating as well as daunting. I intend to cover more topics if you're interested, so if you are, let me know what you'd like to see discussed in the comments down below. If you have any tips of your own that you'd like to share, mention them in the comments as well, because again, as always, I enjoy looking through what others have to say. And finally, for more Bannerlord's content, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'll definitely be kicking off a Let's Play soon, if I haven't already. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. You keep us alive and running smoothly. And a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.